Act fast. These President's Day offers end soon.
Tune into Channel 8 News covering Hamilton County. Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 6.
Coming up this morning, an economic slam dunk. What kind of boost businesses expect from state basketball tips as it tips off today? Plus, the death penalty, why prosecutors are seeking execution in just one of two brutal killings in just one small town. And a border protection, how Senator Ricketts is connecting a college student's killing to the crisis at the border. Good Wednesday morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Andrew Ward. We're going to have more on those top stories here in just a second. But first, let's take a live look outside our Allo camera where it is just brutally cold. I mean, just really chilly out there. We were talking wind chills below zero. It's 10 degrees currently as the actual temperature outside. Let's head on over to meteorologist Jessica Blum. Let's look at that first forecast. Where did the 80s go, Jess? I miss those.
Oh, they're far behind now, but they may come back as soon as this weekend. Maybe not 80s, but upper 70s. It will take a little time to get back there. We're still that cold front did a number on us overnight, even to tonight, barely hanging on to the double digits here in Lincoln here this morning. But as we know, once that cold front moved through in the late morning hours into the early afternoon, those winds really picked up. Wanted to share with you some strong wind reports that we had across the area. Lincoln had wind reports, sustained winds around 39 miles per hour through the fastest portions of the day yesterday. Highest wind gust was about 46 miles per hour. Strong winds, a little dusting of snow if you saw much of anything yesterday here nearby in southeast Nebraska. And as you can see, things are flowing pretty smoothly here for traffic here early this morning. Our Barry log camera pointing towards the south, clearing overnight too, has dropped those temperatures significantly. Winds are not helping either. They're still around 10 to almost 20 miles per hour, especially as you look towards Lincoln and areas east. Lincoln reporting only a 9 mile per hour wind, but look at these wind chills. It feels like 3 below out there, 10 below in Omaha. Quite the temperature swing from a few days ago when we were in the 70s and 80s. For the day today, the warmest portions of the day today are only going to feel like the low to mid 30s. We'll try to make a run for the lower 40s, but the 60s and 70s will not come back until the end of this week. So a cooler day for about a day, and we'll get better soon enough. We'll talk about that here coming up in the full forecast.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Jessica. Now to this morning to the live road alerts as we take a look at downtown this morning. A state basketball scheduled to tip off today. Here's a look at current conditions downtown right now. Of course, this will be a lot different of a scene here when the first game tips off later on this morning. But yeah, if you work downtown in that area, just be a little extra cautious. You take a little bit more time. It's going to be a little bit more congestion as thousands of people will be flocking to the capital city today. And state basketball is today's top story. The teams are traveling from all across Nebraska to the capital city. The businesses are expecting a big boost over the next couple of weekends. Channel 8's Annie Elming joins us now live in front of Pinnacle Bank Arena with what more we can expect today. Annie.
Yeah, Andrew, we're outside Pinnacle Bank Arena, and this is where all the action will be this weekend for girls state basketball, as well as the downtown and Haymarket areas. In 2022 alone, downtown Lincoln saw a $5 million bump in revenue from just one weekend of state basketball, and officials are expecting an even bigger spike this year. Restaurants in the Haymarket earlier this week were already preparing for the thousands of fans flooding the downtown over the next few days. 48 teams will compete over the next 2 days before they're narrowed down to the semifinals on Friday and the championships on Saturday. Of course, we'll have all the highlights in our upcoming newscasts, and we will also have more on the economic impact these events will have on Lincoln. Download the Now Local News app if you're planning on heading to state basketball this weekend to post more on the app so we can see and share if you have friends in the game to share the highlights.
Yeah, great time to do that. All right, Annie, when did the boys start after the girls get underway this weekend?
Yeah, that'll be next weekend. So it'll be 2 fun weekends of girls basketball this weekend and boys next weekend. So 2 great weekends of basketball in Lincoln.
Yeah, such a fun event. All right, thank you very much, Annie. And this morning, Nebraska prosecutors are only pursuing the death penalty in one of 2 small-town killings in Washington County. Officials decided not to pursue execution in the killing of a Fort Calhoun priest, but they will in the brutal murder of a retiree. Authorities say William Collins shot 71-year-old Linda Childers with a crossbow 3 times before slitting her throat. This happened after Collins reportedly broke into her home just a mile north of Fort Calhoun. Collins pled not guilty to this case. Collins' attorney says his case does not include any of the requirements for a death sentence. Here in Lincoln, 45-year-old Ansela Solkin will spend a year in jail after being sentenced for 2 counts of theft by unlawful taking. Solkin falsely claimed Medicaid payments for care services she didn't provide to her parents. This information was revealed during a 2-month investigation, which provided video evidence of her crimes. Solkin originally faced felony charges, but her sentence was reduced under the condition of repaying over $10,000 to Medicaid. This morning, we're hearing from Lincoln residents about the nomination of Michonne Morrow to be our next police chief. She was nominated by the mayor on Tuesday. The president of the West Lincoln Neighborhood Association spoke about benefits to having a strong relationship with the police.
Somebody that's a team builder carries that professional and being able to work well with the public.
Somebody that's looking out for the community and, you know, taking care of crime.
We dug into the statistics as well, and they show us that since Police Chief Michonne Morrow started in 2023, there's been 1 homicide. That's a 90% decrease when comparing that same 7-month period a year ago. However, robberies increased 11%, and there were 97 more felony arrests. One woman told us that she would like to see police officers more involved.
If the police interact with the public a little bit more, it would boost up the confidence in the public.
Hopeful the new police chief can accomplish that. Today, U.S. Senator Pete Ricketts will be holding a press conference to discuss the murder of a nursing college student. Ricketts' office says Laken Riley was killed by 26-year-old Jose Ibarra. Ricketts says he is an illegal alien who was allowed into the country by President Biden's abuse of parole. The 22-year-old nursing student disappeared during a jog on Georgia College's campus. We will be listening to Ricketts' conference call later today about this issue and have more on air and on our Now Local News app. The Department of Justice has started an antitrust probe into United Health. The investigation into the Minnesota-based company has involved interviews with healthcare industry officials and representatives in areas where United Health competes with other groups. Now, according to people with knowledge of the matter, the investigators are asking about links with United Health's insurance unit and its Optum Health Services arm. They are looking into any potential impact that United Health's doctor group acquisitions could have on its rivals. So far, there's been no comment from United Health or the Justice Department. Meanwhile, we now want to know what started the wildfire near North Platte. The state fire marshal says it was caused by someone mowing. In just 24 hours, 71,000 acres has burned and it's now 72% contained. 2 homes and several outbuildings are destroyed. The fire is spreading quickly because of 40-mile-per-hour winds. The governor has declared an emergency disaster to get extra help out there. U.S. Representative Adrian Smith says he's continuing to track conditions of the severe wildfires in central Nebraska. Smith also commends everyone from Governor Pillen to the Nebraska State Patrol to local first responders for working so hard to ensure the safety of Nebraskans. He urges residents to remain alert and follow advisements from emergency management officials. Meanwhile, the DHHS has activated its smoke advisory system due to this massive wildfire. Officials say this system is used to alert Nebraskans if there are any air quality concerns due to the smoke from wildfires or prescribed burns. So officials are asking residents to be aware of any alerts over the next few days. Struggling rural EMS services are receiving a tech boost that will help them save lives. Nebraska DHHS says they'll be equipping EMS ambulances with telemedicine technology to enhance access to emergency services in 20 rural communities. The goal is to provide rural paramedics with immediate access to board-certified emergency physicians, nurses, and paramedics. A veteran EMT who heads the Nebraska Emergency Medical Services Association says many communities are 20 or more miles away from the nearest hospital, so this will help stabilize patients and keep them alive until they reach the hospital. The city has announced the possible new locations for the bus transfer center. They're changing course after hearing concerns from business owners and members of the community. Now, the temporary center was going to be moved to 11th and L, but that would have taken up some parking spots. Now, the StarTran Advisory Board will be voting on 6 new locations near that 11th and L streets. 2 possible spots are on 11th along the Carriage Park parking garage, and other 4 are along the former Settles printing building. Now, the board will vote on Thursday. And here's the scene last night in South Lincoln as snow began falling down just after things started to get just warmed up a bit. So much for that 81 degrees, huh? Now, this video was sent into our Now Local News app by Tanya. You can do the same by downloading the app today.
Yeah, we're left in the wake of the cold front today. High pressure builds in, and we try for the lower 40s this afternoon. Then even warmer to end out this week, rebounding from this quick taste of winter. More on that when we come back.
Right, folks, you heard correct. Menards 11% off everything is happening now.
11% off everything is here. So start that makeover you've been talking about and transform the look of your bathroom or upgrade your garage with heavy-duty storage that you need for your ideal workspace. Now's the time to make your kitchen stand out and save big on the entire project. Hurry into Menards now for 11% off everything.
Save big money at Menards.
Hurry in for incredible store-wide savings right now at NFM. All cooking appliances, dishwashers, refrigerators, and laundry appliances are on sale. Don't miss out. All living room, dining room, and bedroom furniture is on sale. Shop our huge selection of big screens with all TVs on sale. And take advantage of free installation on all in-stock carpet with 24-month financing on qualifying purchases, plus free shipping on qualifying purchases. Shop legendary low prices only at NFM. Store closing early on Sunday.
If you are on the fence about ordering McDonald's, consider this a sign.
Spend $2 or more in the McDonald's app and get any size fries for free. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We're all new with Stephen Moyer. I heard that there might be a True Blood reboot. Would you be into that?
If you're watching, I'm in.
Next, Kelly. Sexy vampire, rescues dogs. You would be a hit on Tinder.
Weekdays at 4, followed by Channel 8 News at 5.
So, all of us are here to talk about trading. Right now at US Cellular, you can get a new phone without having to trade in your old one.
Trade you my PB&J for that phone.
No, kid, you don't have to trade. See, $830 off any phone at US Cellular. No trade-in needed.
You drive a hard bargain. Boom. Chocolate milk.
You don't have to trade. I'll take the chocolate milk.
Okay.
Get $830 off any phone. No trade-in needed. US Cellular. Built for us.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you.
Welcome back, everyone. Taking a live look at Milwaukee, Wisconsin this morning. We don't get too many looks in Milwaukee this time of year, so not too bad there. Just before 6:15 back here at home, 10 degrees outside. Yeah, it's a chilly start to your Wednesday. State basketball season is here, and teams are traveling to Capital City today from all across Nebraska, and businesses here in town are expecting a big boost over the next couple of weekends. Channel 8's Annie Elming joins us now live in front of Pinko Bank Arena with what more we can expect today. Annie, good morning.
Yeah, Andrew, we're outside Pinnacle Bank Arena, as you mentioned, ahead of all the excitement this weekend of girls state basketball. In 2022 alone, downtown Lincoln saw a $5 million bump in revenue from just one weekend of state basketball, and officials are expecting an even higher spike this year with state basketball. Restaurants in the Haymarket earlier this week were already preparing for the thousands of fans flooding downtown over the next few days. 48 teams will compete over the next 2 days before they're narrowed down to the semifinals on Friday and then the championships on Saturday. Of course, we'll have all the highlights in our upcoming newscast. We'll also have more on the economic impact this event has on the city, and download the Now Local News app for the latest updates to send your videos as well.
All right, sounds good. And Annie, when does the boys tournament start? I know the girls get underway today.
Yeah, they'll be next week heading into the weekend, so 2 fun weekends of basketball here in Lincoln.
Yeah, download that Now Local News app. We'd love to see where you are and how you're watching. Thank you very much, Annie. Now to that fire emergency in Texas, an entire town evacuated and surrounded by flames. The fire is even forcing a nuclear weapons facility to pause operations. All of this unfolding as ABC's Andrew Dimber reports a large section of the country, including Nebraska, sees unprecedented February weather conditions from summer-like heat to bitter cold.
This morning, historic February wildfires scorching parts of the southern plains, forcing the governor of Texas to issue disaster declarations in more than 60 counties. The heat and heavy winds fueling the flames in the Texas Panhandle. One fire quadrupled in size in just 24 hours, burning an area more than 7 times the size of Washington, D.C.
Hey, man, 4 or 5 trucks. We can't hold it.
Get out of there.
Let's pull out. We got too many spots.
More than 40 homes damaged in Fritch, Texas. Residents told to evacuate now. Just outside Amarillo, the country's primary nuclear weapons facility, pausing operations as the fire raged nearby. The city of Canadian, northeast of Amarillo, was surrounded by fire. Anyone who had not evacuated was told to shelter in place. The fires crossing into Oklahoma, prompting more evacuations. Farther north in Nebraska, this fire erupting in the summer-like heat. But overnight, a powerful storm front triggering weather whiplash. Temperatures plunging in some areas from the mid-80s to the mid-20s in a matter of hours. St. Louis dropping from 86 degrees to 26. The storm triggering at least 4 suspected tornadoes outside of Chicago, downing trees and ripping roofs and facades off buildings. Passengers at busy O'Hare Airport were told to shelter away from windows as flights were grounded during the storms. The air traffic control tower briefly evacuated. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with meteorologist Jessica Blum.
Yeah, as you can see across the United States, the system's been doing a number on us. Also here at home, we saw those red flag warnings across the state. Some wildfires start up just north of North Platte, and the 80s down to snow and now wind chills below zero. So we've kind of seen all the seasons in 1 week here so far, including a little light snow, generally less than a ½ inch for most of the northern half of Nebraska. Then you get closer to Valentine and far extreme northwest, Nebraska here through the last 24 hours, and they saw a little bit more snow, closer to an inch, if not a little bit more than that. We know we didn't see really much of anything in Lincoln. Mostly all those roads are faring pretty well. It's just brutally cold out there and much different from a couple of days ago when we were setting record highs. Our Honda of Lincoln camera at South 27th and Yankee Hill Road shows a pretty quiet picture. Clear skies out there right now, but barely holding on to the double digits here in the capital city. Meanwhile, to the north, Wahoo at 8, Omaha also at 8, Columbus now down to 6, Aurora just 4 degrees. Much different story out there this morning. Be prepared to bundle up as we've got temperatures in the single digits across most of the state, if not 5 degrees below, and Valentine is one of the colder spots. Winds are diminishing, as you can see, greatly from what we saw yesterday, around 10 to 15 miles per hour in still far eastern Nebraska, just still on the outer edges of this strong system, now continuing to push farther and farther east and affect the eastern coast layer today. But yeah, it is still feeling cold with even not too much wind out there. 3 below right now in Lincoln, 10 below in Omaha is what it feels like, 11 below in O'Neill, 18 below in Valentine. A frigid morning for those around the area. Those winds are still going to be anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour, but diminishing, and we'll still see likely sub-zero wind chills through much of the morning before things try to warm up into this afternoon with plenty of sunshine. We do have high pressure into place, so I'm not going to see a whole lot of cloud cover out there this morning. In fact, this is actually going to slide to the south and east later today. All those storms we've been talking about, they're pushing off to the east through the Ohio River Valley and towards the eastern coast going into this afternoon and evening. And with all this high pressure, a little bit of a wind shift out of the west and southwest, we'll continue to warm up, especially into the end of this week, but winds will pick up again overnight tonight and into tomorrow, not allowing temperatures to drop off as much as they are early this morning. A high today will be right around 41 degrees. This is cooler than averages that should be closer to 46 degrees for us at this time of the year. A very chilly start, but yes, those winds will be shifting again out of the west and southwest through the end of this week. So look at that. Temperatures rebounding into the 60s for Thursday and the 1st of March, also being the first of meteorological spring on Friday, and then the 70s return on Saturday and Sunday. Upper 70s. We could be setting a new record high once again on Sunday, just riding this weather roller coaster that is this week. And then a little bit of a rain chance going into Sunday and Monday, but nothing meaningful. It looks like the end of next week will be a better chance. We're just kind of at the bottom of the roller coaster right now. We're going to go right back up heading into the end of this week. I
know, I just put my hands down in the roller coaster, so we just went down that big hill.
Yeah,
so
a little sigh of relief, but kind of we're still in it right now.
Yeah. We're just going to
I think my stomach just bottomed out with how cold some of these temperatures have been this morning.
Yeah, I didn't like that. No, thank you very much, Jessica.